to the morning show.
Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore. I love Fridays because Fridays are so delicious. Now that we have our favorite journalist from Berita Harian, Dahlia, with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Dahlia
morning,
is
Dahlia.
our Kaki Makan.
She is from Berita Harian, and you made an excursion out to Sentosa recently.
Yes, recently. It was so exciting. So this will be ongoing till 10th of August.
Okay.
So it's like perfect weekend activity from today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and also the following weekend. That will be their last weekend.
Okay.
Yep.
So National Day weekend.
National Day weekend.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
This is at 60 Siloso Beach Walk.
Yes.
Grillfest.
Which is where exactly?
Siloso is where Rasa Sentosa is. Shangri-La, that
The
whole
other
beach.
side,
Yep.
Depending where you are, yes.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean, if you've got a Tanjong Beach on the left,
Yeah, it's
then
not the same side.
this will be on the right.
and it's more the family-friendly area,
I
isn't
would say
it?
yes, it's more family friendly.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
It's actually near one of the beach club actually, where the outdoor Sentosa Grillfest is at.
Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't been to Siloso for ages.
Yeah.
Oh, beach club.
Yes.
Okay,
I
let me
think I
find
should
out
be
what
hanging out more at these beach clubs now. Okay, so 60 Siloso Beach Walk. That's where the Grill Fest is happening.
Yes. Yep. So I'll be featuring 3 vendors at Sentosa Grillfest, which I've tried, and I would say they are really known for their smoked meats, and it's really very, very, very delicious. As you were to walk in, okay, so Sentosa Grillfest, the entry is free, so you just ultimately have to pay for your food. But when you walk in, there's really like bold aroma, smoky flavors. So as you pass by and you look through all of the food vendors, there's a plethora of options. So you might be spot for choices and you don't know which one to pick. But the first one that I tried is La Birria Tacos, which is so good. I would say it's my favorite one, out of the 3. So, tacos have been pretty popular recently within the halal market, I would say. So, they are one of the few ones that actually came to the halal F&B scene. So, they started at Kampong Glam Bazaar in 2023. So, I've tried them once and I totally forget about them till I came by that day at Sentosa Grillfest. So I tried their signature birria tacos. So it's the beef tacos that's also simmered in a spice broth, and it was so tender, melt in your mouth. So that broth, they use it as a consomme where you actually dip your tacos.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
it's so nice, so delicious. And I would say the outer part of the tacos is slightly crispy, and it's a pan-seared taco. So it's really stuffed very generously
Ooh,
with
look at
the
that.
beef. And there's also gooey melted cheese, onions, cilantro. So you can actually have it on its own. But if you find that the beef is slightly dry, just dip it with the consomme. And the consomme is really, really very I would say very robust in terms of the spice. And it is simmered for actually 12 hours.
Wow, okay.
So you do actually have a really tender beef, but not too tender where, there's no bite to it. But I would say it's a perfect balance. And the next one, my ultimate favorite. I was so surprised. Okay, so every time when I go to Mexican restaurants, back then where, not many of them were halal, I always love the fish taco. But
Me too. I am a fish tacos
Baja
fan.
fish?
Yes, I like the fried fish.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But the issue is, they fried with IPA or beer, right? So in a sense, I can't enjoy
Oh,
it.
I see. Okay.
So unless it's a grilled fish taco, then it's alright. But most of the time I couldn't really buy the fried fish taco because of that. So when I saw this option of the sambal belacan fish taco, I cannot explain how delicious it is. So it's a double fried fish taco with a sambal belacan crema sauce. So it's a slightly tangy creamy sauce, but with sambal belacan.
Wow.
So sambal belacan has a bit of a funkiness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's spicy, so it really cuts off the richness of the fish because it's double fried.
Yeah.
You would think it's very jelak, but it's not. So it's a fiery heat, from the sambal belacan, slightly tangy, sour taste. From I don't know whether is it like yogurt or sour cream.
it
but
could be.
Really, really works well.
Sounds a bit like almost like a spicy mayo,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Spicy cream mayo, but sambal belacan.
Yeah.
Wow, great
For those
idea.
of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you would have seen that delicious sambal belacan there.
Yum.
Creamy sambal belacan. Okay, let's continue to talk to Dahlia on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Jelly Roll with Liar on Kiss 92.
So, Dahlia was talking about beach clubs on Siloso Beach, right? She's like, there's a beach club there. It's not one, not two, not three. There are 8.
Oh,
On that side?
On that side, Siloso Beach.
I only saw one.
Side. So there's Rumors, there's Ola, there's Tipsy Unicorn, there's Coasts, there's Summer House, Siloso Beach, and this would be your favorite, Bikini Bar.
Oh. I didn't know. I thought
There's
all
so
those
many.
bars kind of like closed during COVID.
No, it's all here. There's
okay.
a whole lineup of them. So might be worth exploring.
I'm there.
All right, Dahlia, sorry, carry
One
on.
more. You've
No,
covered.
she's still on the
no,
first
as in,
one,
yeah,
right?
Quesadilla,
Oh.
birria
Quesadilla
tacos,
tacos.
sambal belacan fish tacos, and
The chicken quesadilla. So the chicken quesadilla, I mean, I've tried it from, a few halal Mexican places. I would say, okay, pretty much what I expect it to be, it's just a very clear cut, just chopped up chicken, jalapenos, melted cheese. But when I tried the ones here at La Birria Tacos, I was so surprised, number one, because of the generous portion. So for the chicken quesadilla, it's $18 for 3 huge pieces, I would say. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't even finish one.
Wow, okay.
So as I, lift the quesadilla up, I would say it's very heavy and it gets a bit like floppy because it's really stuffed with a lot of chicken. And what I liked about it is, number one, is that the chicken is really spiced, so it's not very flat, I would say. And they also serve with a creamy dip. So the creamy dip almost reminded me of blue cheese. So it's funky. I don't know why I like the funkiness.
me too.
I like that
it's really
funkiness,
nice.
yeah.
I mean, it could be quiet, but I would say it adds, slight complexity to the dish. That tanginess is really delicious. So similar to the sambal belacan fish tacos. Most of the time, I feel that fusion doesn't really work well. They said fusion is confusion, right? But I would say this is the only one that I think, like, oh my god,
it just works.
It's so smart. It works. He said he made it for his friends, and they were like, you have to put it onto the menu. And he is, I think, 28 years old, the owner of La Birria Tacos, and he, similar to me, love Mexican food, and we tried Guzman.
Okay.
And yeah, but Guzman is good.
Is
But then-
Guzman halal? No. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
It isn't. But then, because at the point of time, we were finding for
Mexican food.
but then he realized there was a gap. So similar to the other Mexican places that I've tried.
Yeah.
Young guy as well. I think around my age or slightly older, he also realized there was a gap in the halal market. So that's when he also opened another halal Mexican concept, Bot Tacos. So it's actually when we realized that, there's these places in Singapore that are not halal, but then that's when we realized there's a gap. So we opened a halal version. So I said this is the one that I would say it's one of the best ones here.
And La Birria, do they have their own spot, like
Yes.
permanent spot?
After 2 years, they have a takeaway concept.
Okay.
So it's at 73 North Bridge Road, located near Arab Street again. So you can actually have your Mexican
Tacos.
food, just a takeaway concept. Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
they don't have a restaurant
Not really
yet.
a restaurant, no dine-in, but it's the takeaway concept.
So it's kind of a smaller space and all
Smaller
that.
So
space.
you know the boss, right? What's
Yes.
the boss's name?
Shakir.
Shakir.
Yeah.
Shakir.
I think I want to meet Shakir.
We need to go down to like Arab Street and like spend a whole afternoon there because
Yeah.
there's so many spots.
And
to
I'm
talk.
looking to invest.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling I'm going to like this.
That is actually a good
Birria
spot.
Tacos.
Within the area, the footfall, you don't even need to do that much marketing because
Yeah.
people will just pass by around Arab Street. So I would say it's pretty good.
I need to try the food.
Yeah.
You have to,
Let's go.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Next
so
one?
the next one is Oud. Okay, so Oud also is a restaurant, located at Kandahar Street, near Arab Street again.
Okay.
So I interviewed them 2 years ago. So they are known for their grilled focus meat, with like firewood concept. So the moment you walk in the restaurant, right? Oh my god, you know that your clothes is just going to smell. So, you have to wash your hair and everything.
Okay.
So this is their first time participating in Grillfest. And I would say their concept or their dishes is really different from the ones in the restaurant. So the first one that I tried is loaded spuds with smoked brisket. Now spuds potato are so popular right now. So the spud one is the one in the center over there. So it's actually covered generously with cheese, and there's also smoked brisket, and also there's a creamy white sauce and also fresh scallion. So I would say it is really very comforting in a very familiar scent, of like, you understand, or I would say the flavor profile is pretty basic in a sense. So I would say it's pretty nice.
So like comfort food
Comfort
almost.
food, yeah. You would already know how it tastes like.
What's that on the
On the
the
left.
left?
On the
Is it
left,
mushrooms
yeah.
or-
So that is burnt ants rice. So
Burnt ants rice.
Yes, similar to halal guys. So it's actually basmati rice with caramelized burnt ants. So it's slightly smoky, fatty. It's a fatty brisket. And then there's a tomato sauce at the side, which is quite tangy. So you pour it all together with the white sauce. So I'd say it's quite delicious. The tomato sauce is quite spicy, but I wouldn't recommend to pour all. But I would say it's pretty delicious also. It's a different take of halal, guys.
So it's rice.
It's rice, yes.
It's basmati rice.
Below, yeah.
And what
Brisket.
So it's
Brisket, right?
Beef
On top.
brisket.
Beef
beef
brisket.
brisket.
Yeah.
On top, yeah.
Oh.
That's what that
Yeah.
brown stuff that you
So is
see on top.
that how they refer to the beef brisket, like the burnt ends?
Burnt ends. Yeah, because it's like a
that's
char.
where
Like the
name
restaurant.
comes from,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, burnt ends restaurant.
Burnt
I heard of it,
ends,
yeah.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So there's
Okay.
another one from Oud, which is a smoked Reuben sandwich.
Which is the one on the right just
Yes,
now,
the one
right?
on the right. So I would say the smoked brisket is really layered so generously, a little too
Whoa.
much, and the cheese you can tell it's so gooey. But I think the only gripe I have with this sandwich is that the sourdough is not toasted. So everything
Oh,
feels so heavy,
soft, right,
and
okay.
It's hot, and then
Yeah.
after later your sandwich
Gets
gets
soggy,
moist.
yeah.
Then, it's a
It looks like a
confused-
lot of cheese,
it's
though.
It's a lot of cheese.
I think maybe you can request for it to be
Toasted?
Yeah,
Mm.
I did give feedback that maybe toasted will be better
To hold it
to
together.
Hold it together,
Mm.
yeah. Because I think after a while, because of the heat, it might get soggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back on air. Traffic update, courtesy of Angel. I think we have a few incidences. No?
There was one earlier. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
there was a
what,
car on fire. A car that was smoking.
Overheating, yes.
Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE towards the CTE before Lento Avenue, a broken down vehicle has been spotted. Also on the CTE towards the AYE before Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1, same situation. And finally on the AYE towards the MCE before Jurong Town Hall Road, another vehicle has broken down. There was a situation earlier that was on the TPE heading towards Sengkang. I believe this was before the Punggol exit. A car was smack in the middle, lanes 2 and 3. I'm not sure if it's still there. If you have any updates on any situation, 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guests for Friday, and I'm talking about every Friday at around this time, is our Kaki Makan, our favorite journalist from Berita Harian, Dahlia. Good morning, Dahlia.
Good morning.
And today we're talking about Grillfest. That's happening at 60 Siloso Beach Walk, Sentosa.
Yeah, until next weekend. So you were there and you were just talking about La Birria Tacos.
Yes.
Yummy.
You talked about the quesabirria
Yes.
tacos, the sambal belacan, the chicken quesadilla. Which one was your favorite?
The sambal belacan fish
Okay,
tacos.
all right,
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
Now we moved on to Oud, and tell us a little bit more about them.
Yes, so for Oud, I tried 3 dishes. So the first one that I tried is the loaded spuds with smoked brisket. So now spud potatoes are viral in Singapore because they are popular back in London. So now
Okay.
everybody's trying to bring that concept here. Yeah, and then the next one is a smoked Reuben sandwich. I would say it's a very interesting take. I would say it's like known for their cold cut sandwiches. So back then I would say it's not really common to have them halal here. So they offer smoked Reuben sandwich. With a smoked brisket, gooey cheese. So it's really something different, topped with sourdough bread. And the next one is burnt ends rice. I would say it's similar to halal, guys. So it's a basmati rice at the base with caramelized burnt ends. So it's like slightly like a smoked brisket that's like charred and caramelized with white sauce and also a tomato sauce at the side.
You mentioned halal
Making me
guys.
so
Yes.
hungry.
Who are halal guys?
The halal guys is actually a popular brand in New York.
Okay,
Yes.
all right,
So
okay.
it's almost like
Like a Reuben sandwich, is that what they
not
do?
Reuben sandwich. It's actually a takeout rice with like meats or chicken. So a lot of them actually brought the concept here in Singapore.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Good.
So it's like
Okay.
pita bread, different white sauce, red sauce. So
Yeah.
I would say this is a similar
Yep.
take to it.
I like
and,
rice.
And does Oud have a physical location?
Yes, they do. They do have
You've
it.
not been there?
Oud?
I've been there many times.
No,
I think
you
it's
haven't.
48 Kandahar Street.
Street,
Yes.
right, okay. You're just reading it off the paper here.
I want to go.
It is really delicious. Their smoked ribeye steak and also their, I would say, their lamb ribs. And then they have this like fries with like avocado puree with
Ooh.
like beef tartare and salmon. So good. I
Nice.
frequented there quite a bit last year. It's a really very different concept.
Okay, when
Okay.
you're going again, you let Angel know. Then we go.
Yes,
I think
you
we'll
have
get
my number
Cheyenne
now.
and Shalini as well. We can go for
Yes.
lunch.
Yes, I'll have the fries and the potato spuds.
Also, they've got, I hear that mojito there is really good
Yes, the mint mojito. Okay, so this is obviously the non-alcoholic version. So I would say, after a while having all those meat and it's very greasy and rich, I just have to wash it down. So having that mint mojito that day was so refreshing and cooling. So I would say I really recommend having those type of drinks there.
Yeah.
They also do have like ice blended watermelon, which I think it's pretty common that you can get outside as well. So I would recommend to actually get it when you're at Oud. You really just need to really clear your palate when you're going on to the next store.
And nice at Grillfest because it's a nice cool drink
Yes,
for
correct.
by the beach, right?
Yes.
Nice and refreshing. Okay, sounds great.
So the next one is actually the Smokehouse. So the Smokehouse is actually owned by Asap and Co. So this is, I think, their third time at Sentosa Grillfest. So we do have some pictures. I would say they are one of the popular players, I would say, with grilled or smoked meat. So they smoke their meats for 12 hours with cherry and oak wood. So we do have a burnt end. So it's actually fatty beef belly.
Oh,
So good. This is the one.
Wow.
Oh my.
So it's caramelized, extremely charred, and it was so smoky. It was, and it really melts in your mouth. Like the fattiness of the beef melts, and most of the time I don't like the fatty parts. So I'll just like push it apart, right?
Yeah.
But it's just already, it just melts, and it makes sense. So what I did was, I sliced the brioche roll into half, took one
Made
of
a sandwich.
make a sandwich with the coleslaw and the jalapenos, because the creaminess from the slaw and then the jalapenos that is slightly
Spicy,
spicy
tangy.
and tangy, it works perfectly well. So if you find that the bun ends it's gela, it's not going to be gela.
And I feel like that's what the bun is there for, for you to
Yes.
kind of put it together
Correct.
yourself and make
Yeah.
a little burger almost.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Dahlia on the Big Show TV. It's 8:21.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you.
But that one I'm scared just now.
The
Oh,
beef.
really?
Because I cannot take I
Too
can take
fatty?
fat, but
Yeah.
when it's too fatty like that,
What was that again?
I would say the meat to fat ratio is 50-50.
really.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But
So-
some people would like just eat the meat, right?
Yeah.
And then put the fat
Yeah,
aside.
correct.
Do people do that?
So
They
it's
do,
not.
right?
It's not like I mean, people do that.
Yeah.
But what's the point, right?
Yeah.
No, you should enjoy the whole thing
Yeah.
together. So for me, I can take a little bit of it,
Mm-hmm.
like, but not too much. Like
Just a little piece for each one.
for fat, I can
Yeah.
take a little bit, but after a while, as you
Yeah.
mentioned, right, it gets
Yeah.
gela.
Because most of the time when I see meats with those type of fats, I'll push it aside, because especially if the fat is not rendered, I really just don't like it at all. I just push it, and then people are like, why? That's the best part of the meat. But then I'm like, I don't think I want it. But this is fully rendered and it melts, so you don't even feel the fatty part. What you get is actually the melt in the mouth texture. So
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, I appreciate the flavor profile, and for the quality of the meat, it's $19.
Wow.
I was like,
Okay.
ooh, okay, this is really very good. So the next one that I tried is the Wagyu brisket roll.
Okay.
So the Wagyu brisket, the moment I lift it up, it just fell apart. It's really just that tender with their homemade barbecue sauce.
Is the moment you lifted the meat up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When I lift it
okay.
up, it just break apart, and it's really...
So kind of same concept where you can put it into the bun
Yes,
and
similar
stuff, right?
concept.
Nice.
Yep. So it's really very, very tender again. The barbecue is nicely sweet and smoky. So I'd say it's a perfect balance. And I would say that within the Halal F&B scene, we lack this type of smoky, delicious food. So when I tasted it, I was like, oh my god, I'm really missing out. It's really very delicious. So I would say with the atmosphere of Sentosa Grillfest and being at the beach, outdoor area, al fresco, and then you have like all your drinks. It's just it's a vibe, to really come there and gather with your family and friends.
You've spoken, over the weeks, right? She's spoken about so many halal places, right? There've been
Yeah.
like halal carbonara. There've been
Yeah.
like, you're talking about beef brisket and all that. Do you think there's anything missing from the halal food scene?
Oh, in
Because
terms of-
there's so many restaurants that you speak about in like
Yeah.
Kandahar, Arab Street, and Haji Lane and all that. Is there anything that out there that needs to be done?
I think so far, everything is mostly covered.
Okay.
Because once like there's a Mexican concept, everybody's gonna open one.
Yeah.
And then now let's say with like Chinese food cuisine, right? I've always been curious of how bak kut teh tastes like, to be really honest.
And you said there was someone
Chicken kuteh.
lamb kut teh.
Lamb kuteh.
Lamb kuteh.
And it works, apparently. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
So maybe that's going to be my next Kaki Makan spot. So I do feel that actually more people are trying to be, I would say, quite experimental.
And inclusive, right,
And
of all the
inclusive,
dishes.
yes,
Yeah.
because we do have a lot of rivets, so they do miss all this food as well. So when I taste it, I'm like, oh my god, I finally get to try them.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of them is Asap and Co, with their burnt ends. Because when I saw the fatty beef belly, it almost looked like pork belly.
Pork belly, yeah. Mm.
Then I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is how it tastes like. Yeah, from the fattiness and when I saw the layers, I was like, okay, that's how I just picture it to be. Yeah,
I mean, it looks a little, but it tastes.
I'm sure, yeah, for
Really
sure.
good.
And they have a physical location?
yes, at Telok Ayer. So their
Telok
restaurant
Ayer,
is
okay.
Asap and Co. So they do have been getting awards, for their smoked meats. Really, their quality of the meats are really good, and they also have a meat mortuary in the restaurant.
A meat mortuary?
Yes, really interesting. So that's where they actually do all their preps for their meat, and they also make their own Wagyu brisket. So everything is all there. But now they're experimenting on how to make their own sausages as well. So Asap & Co recently opened a new concept at somewhere near Telok Ayer, Rosti, which will be my next.
I've heard of Rosti,
yes,
yeah.
the next one that I'll be featuring. So it's really very good.
Oh, looks like a
Yeah.
nice space.
We've all heard of the
actually.
Rosti, but
No,
have
I've
you
heard
really
of
heard
Rosti,
of this?
yes,
Yeah.
of the brand Rosti, yeah.
Because Rosti was pretty popular back in Marche, right?
Yes.
That Marche made
Marche,
Rosti
right? Yeah.
Rosti
famous, yeah.
and sour cream.
Yeah.
Yes, and like you want a sausage or salmon on the
Yeah.
side. So they located, Asap & Co. is located at Far East Square, 70 Telok Ayer Street.
Yep. Right
Nice.
opposite Telok Ayer MRT station.
That looks like
Yeah.
a nice, it's an award-winning halal steakhouse.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What's the meaning of asap? Because
Is it ASAP? Oh, asap
Asap.
means cook, is it?
Smoke.
Oh,
Smoke.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Now we know the story. Smoke and Co.
Yes.
Like
They've
the
got
other day, one of
tomahawks
the
and all.
flats in Tua Payoh was asap.
That was was a lot of asap.
Yes,
A
a
lot.
lot
A lot of asap.
I hope everyone's fine.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a big
Quite-
fire.
quite a
there.
big one,
Fire.
yes,
My
yes.
goodness. Okay,
Yes.
so smokehouse.
Yes.
Smokehouse, and they've got like
Smokehouse.
bone marrow and everything, tomahawks and all that at their
Yes,
restaurant.
They do.
Looking at their Instagram
Pricey,
page.
but really good. You're gonna get like good quality meats.
Not many halal steakhouses, you would say, or good ones.
Okay, now they are starting to have many halal steakhouses, but they are one of the few and the good ones. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna see whether I got a friend who wants to go down with me or not
You
to
should.
Grillfest on either
Grillfest, yeah.
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's on till next weekend
Yeah.
as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday sounds like a plan.
National Day itself is not going to be crowded at all.
What,
Because
it's
they
gonna
got
be
a lot
crowded
of
over
stuff.
there.
Yeah, of course.
And you can't see the fireworks from there at Sentosa.
But there's so many celebrations going on. Even BYD is celebrating on Siloso as well.
On
Remember?
Saturday?
Yes, they told us. They told us yes.
I thought it was on
Day.
National Day.
Which is Saturday.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about this Saturday.
Oh, you're talking about tomorrow.
yes,
right.
it's tomorrow Saturday. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why
Saturday,
I'm
Saturday, tomorrow.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I want to go tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow won't be as bad as next
Hopefully it
weekend.
isn't, yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, they start from 4:30 p.m. onwards, so it's not going to be that hot.
Nice sunset
it's nice,
kind of thing,
4:30
yeah.
to 10 p.m. So really, I think you just need to come with like, a group of friends. There's really endless of food option, drinks and
Yeah.
everything. Share it. Yeah,
I think like 75. It's huge, right?
huge.
The Grillfest.
yeah.
Wow.
Solid.
75
Just
vendors.
slip on my speedos, my tank top.
You know what?
my-
Speedos are back, so don't laugh. I just read about this. I'm like, wow, okay. Something we don't need.
Okay, wrapping up. Coming up.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards Tuas, there's an accident that's been spotted before the AYE. Avoid lanes 2 and 3. On the BKE towards the PIE, also an accident before Dairy Farm Road. Avoid lane 2. Let us know if you're passing those spots. Send us a picture if you can, but always be safe to 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We have been speaking to our very good friend from Berita Harian, our Kaki Makan herself, journalist Dahlia. Thank you very much, Dahlia, for coming in today and telling us about Grillfest. I'm
Yes.
so excited. and I'm sure you've made many people excited as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure it's going to be extra crowded this weekend, thanks to today's segment.
Yes.
So you spoke about 3 halal outlets there. There's La Birria Tacos, there's Oud, as well as
The Smokehouse.
The Smokehouse.
By
Okay.
Asap and Co.
By Asap and
Yeah.
Co. Nice.
So once again, advice for people who are going down this weekend. It's at 60 Siloso Beach Walk, Sentosa. Grillfest. How should they be dressed up?
yeah, like pro tips. What they should
Because
they
if I
bring?
go, confirm I will have to slip on my Speedos, my tank top, my flip-flops.
Oh my gosh, we need the camera there. Send the social media team down, Shalini.
Yeah.
But how
yeah.
do people dress up for an event like this?
I think anything airy, breezy,
Cool.
for those
There
who
you
have
go.
their-
That's airy and
literally
breezy.
airy, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be sweating, and I assume there might be crowds.
Bring a fan.
Yeah, bring a fan. Oh yes, portable fan.
Portable
Handy
fan.
portable fan.
Okay.
And for the ladies, tie your hair up. There's no time for you to have your hair down. You're just gonna get all sweaty.
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
There's a reason why I'm thinking the less you have on, the better.
Yes,
Because you don't
okay.
want to smell like a barbecue, right?
Okay,
I mean, if you're
fair
wearing your
enough.
clothes and all that, it's going to absorb,
Yeah.
the smoke.
That's your excuse for wearing a tank top and Speedos.
Or maybe nothing.
Oh,
Why wear a tank top? Take off the
But there
tank
are
top.
some who actually
Yeah,
were like,
shirtless,
"Oh my
right?
gosh,
Of course,
Yeah.
it's a beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
all right, yeah, and there's a beach club there.
Yeah, there you go. 8
Yeah.
beach clubs apparently for you to choose from.
Sounds like a great area. So once again, Grillfest is on till the 10th of August.
10th of August, 4 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. And entry is free.
Oh,
Yes.
nice. So you just walk through.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Dahlia, as always, for joining us.
Yeah.
How's everything at Berita Harian?
Yes, all good. I've been eating good food this past week. I can't wait to share actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. See you next week, Dahlia.
See you.
I asked her to stay.
That's Maroon 5 with Won't Go Home Without You right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. We are so excited. Our second guest is in the studio, in the hot seat. He is the editor of the Straits Times, Mr. Jaime Ho. Good morning.
Hello, Glenn.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Good morning,
It's a bit
Jamie.
too early though, but
For us, thank you so much for
Sometimes we
coming
feel
in.
bad asking people to come in for an interview because we're wondering, like, are they like morning people?
it could be worse. It could be like a 7 o'clock or something, right? I suppose.
We
I should be glad.
could have asked you, yes.
This is not too bad. I have to say, today we are making history because it is the first time, all these years I've been here at SPH Media, the first time we're having the editor of the Straits Times join us on the show. Thank you so much.
No, well,
Thank
that's
you.
because
No.
it's a very special year, right? For
suppose.
Straits
I
Times,
suppose, yes.
180 years. There is a special exhibition that's going on, and so many events going on
Yeah.
around it to celebrate 180. Tell us a little bit more about, heartbeats and headlines.
Well, the exhibition, was launched a couple of weeks ago now, when PM Wong came for our dinner, our gala dinner. And on the same day or the day after, we launched this exhibition, which will travel a few places. It's now, after being launched at Jewel, it's now at Westgate for this weekend. Last weekend it's going to be at Westgate, and then from Friday over the National Day weekend it will be at Raffles City. So
Perfect.
really, I mean, it's a nice time to be at Raffles City while things are happening at the Padang. It'll give us good vibes, and from what I hear, great crowd at Westgate as well.
It's called Heartbeats and Headlines, 180 years of telling the Singapore story.
So what can people expect when they go?
Yeah.
I'm at Raffles City all the time, so I'm going to wait till it gets there next week and have a look.
Well, there are two parts which, I mean, the idea was to really explain to Singaporeans and everyone who reads and knows the Straits Times how we work, how we've been so much a part of their lives for the last 180 years. And really, I don't think people appreciate how long 180 years
Yeah,
is,
man.
both in terms of lifespans of news publications, any publication, any country, especially obviously Singapore, which is 60 years old, and how we've been such a big part of it. And we see it through stories of people, stories that our country has gone through, and the headlines, right? Hence the theme of the exhibition. And one of the favorite parts of one of my favorite parts of the exhibition is everyone gets to see the headline on their birthday or any particular day that they
nice.
choose. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I want to go and see what the headline was, 29th January, XXXX, I'm
Yeah.
just like...
Why XXX? Just say.
1974. I don't know what was happening back then.
My grandma actually had like cutouts,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
from Straits Times back in the
Of
day,
course.
where weddings were announced as well.
Yeah.
My birth was announced in the Straits Times, and my
Seriously?
mom still has the cutout of that. Yeah,
Impressed.
so yeah,
Impressed.
it's
Mine
very
definitely
cool.
wasn't.
We should get in touch with some of our journalist friends at the Straits Times and show them
The little
these
cutouts. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
It's so special.
yeah.
Go find out for yourself, Glenn.
Huh?
What the headline
What was
was?
the headline on your birthday? You should go and figure it out.
Actually, huh?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yes, 1970.
Yes,
In
proud.
Sometime in June.
1970,
Sometime in
1974.
Yes.
Well, happy to say I'm right in the middle of that.
There you go.
Yeah. There's a theme going on here.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, in your time working, at the Straits Times, what's been the most impactful moment that made you realize the impact of the work that you do?
Well, I would say there were probably two. One recently and one actually still ongoing. I don't know whether you remember a couple of months ago we did this story about stateless people in Singapore.
The stateless boy.
Yeah, and he was one of them. It was a very, very interesting, very, very unique and quite sad story to begin with, how he ended up being stateless. Rico Rafizwan was his name. And we did a story about him. And the thing that was the most emotional for me and impactful, I suppose, was the reactions that we got from Singaporeans. And it showed not only our reach, but also our influence and how that influence can actually impact people's lives. So we had a flood of reactions from people offering him jobs, mentorship, and through that, he then obviously became a bit known in the public sphere, and he's now has a job. He's on his way to getting
Identity,
certificate. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it's such an amazing sort of chain of events. And
But how do you like pick up on a story like that? Let's talk a little bit more on the Big Show TV.
All right, let's go. Up next, Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. This is Uptown Funk on Kiss 92.
I mean, obviously, as journalists, right, you hope that every story becomes big. But for a story like this, how did they work around it?
Well, the thing about journalism really is just journalists talking to people and people talking to us and sharing stories. And that's why people love being journalists. You're there actually listening to all the stories that exist in our community, and this is just one that came up, and our reporters say, hey, this sounds very interesting. I mean, everyone knows that somehow, unfortunately, there are stateless people around. You just don't know how many, whether it's 10, whether it's 20, but each one has a very unique story behind it, and we take so much of it for granted. All the things that we get as either citizens or PRs or even just tourists or visitors, but as stateless people, it is a extremely grey area. And after meeting him, talking to him, going through all the interviews, you realize really what a brilliant story it is. So it's just really about talking and listening.
So lovely. So you guys have gone obviously from print, and you're talking about the Singapore story. A lot of it also has gone out on Instagram, TikTok, and Straits Times is no longer just that newspaper you hold in your hands and get that ink all over. It's become something that follows us everywhere, in our phones, on our laptops, on our TV. So how do you sort of keep up with that and make sure that the Straits Times stays relevant to the new readers?
Yeah, great question. I mean, the thing is, we find ourselves basically having to do more and more and be everywhere all at once at the same time for everyone who reads or watches or listens.
Yeah.
Hence this radio program to the Straits Times every single day. And yes, in a way, it stretches the newsroom resources for sure. Because not only do we still have to put a newspaper out to bid every night, but then the work doesn't stop there. Yeah. And it demands a lot from journalists, more so than it used to demand from them, obviously. But at the same time, one of the most interesting things that it makes us sort of come to grips with is we really need to be on our toes all the time, both in terms of what are the platforms that people seem to be gravitating towards, and then being able to tailor your content for those platforms,
right?
Because they're not always the same.
Yeah.
Even we can have a chat about this. Even TikTok and Instagram, people may think there are similarities, but actually quite
very
distinct,
different.
right? Even distinct between WhatsApp and Telegram, and we need to be able to be aware of that. And not only are you therefore sort of dividing up your already tight resources through all these platforms, you also have to keep an eye out on the emerging ones, because who knows what else is on the horizon. And then finally, you need to have a newsroom that is creative enough, flexible enough, open enough to be able to meet all these demands on them all the time. So it's fun, it's stressful, but when you see things work out, you kind of obviously are gratified.
Yeah. I mean, we put out a great product, I think.
Yeah,
And I'm
and
not just saying that because, I mean, we are
The Straits
related,
Times.
right? I mean, we're all SPH Media here, but I think credible news that we put out, checking the facts and all that is absolutely vital. We can get many, little, news outlets
Sources,
and all that,
yeah.
just putting out news really, really fast, but they might not necessarily be true.
Yeah, I think what I want, at least for Singaporeans and anyone out there who's news aware, is, well, we're perfectly fine if you have multiple news sources.
Yeah.
It's normal. But as and when you need and want to, sometimes say, hey, by the way, let me just check back on the Straits Times and see how this reported this, or what's their take on that particular piece of news, or sometimes whether we've even covered it. And if we haven't covered it, well, have a think about why. Is it because it's still yet to be verified, it's totally untrue?
Precisely.
And if you need to ask us why, that's the reason why we're becoming a little bit more open as to how we make our decisions. Just ask us on whatever social platforms you want, right? Just, hey, by the way, Straits Times, I see you haven't reported on this.
Why?
Tell me why. And I like to keep that kind of conversation going with our audiences more and more.
Yeah, I get that a little bit sometimes as well. You know why?
Why hasn't ST
I'm
done
like,
it?
do you know how much fake news there is out there right now?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like-
it's not just fake news, right? Sometimes there are certain things that you just need a little bit more time to put into
process.
context, to
Yeah, of
process,
course, yeah.
and do the work that journalists do.
I think also because we live in a world where everything is so quick, and you look on your social feed and you see something and straight away you want to believe what's
Yeah,
out there, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
even harder for you guys now
Yeah.
because news is no longer put the newspaper to rest at the end of the night and go to print. You know what? It was true at the time of print, but then now you've got your TikTok, your Instagram, where you got to keep up with news now. So you already say your resources are stretched so thin. It must be even thinner to be on the ball 24/7.
Yeah, and to do that at the same time, as we said, stretched, but still maintaining as you sort of interact with stories and with audiences and people across these platforms, still remaining or still keeping and making sure you retain an editorial ethos,
Yeah.
a certain standard,
Yeah.
a certain reliability, a certain way to approach different things, but at the same time being creative and having fun with it on the appropriate platforms.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much pressure all the editors are under.
For
You
sure,
being
yeah.
the ultimate editor.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
So with all that, I mean, where does news go now and journalism go? We've already got all the digital platforms and all that. What is going to come? What can we expect?
I think in many ways, ironically, there are things that will never change. Let me start with that first. And the things that will never change are that what we are conveying, what is our value proposition, is not actually information or news per se. What we are selling, if I may to use that word, is our credibility behind the information that we are putting out there. And that is what we must recognize never changes and can never change or be compromised. How we put out the information and the news is the thing that varies. And it will continue to vary. It's always varied through the lifespan of journalism, right? Whether it was the Gutenberg press, whether it was print, whether it was broadcast, which everyone's sort of freaked out over when broadcast first happened. Then it became streaming. Then it became live video streaming. All these things happen, right?
Yeah.
And at each time it happens, people sort of get a little bit destabilized. Yeah, fine, that's normal. And the whole point of being destabilized is then recalibrate towards that new medium that it is. Obviously, in the last 10 years, the gap between the sort of seismic shifts has been smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
But we need to accept that. That's fine. But know that there is still an underlying sort of thing that will never change, which is our credibility. Then you sort of have that flexibility and that courage to approach all the new platforms and ways of storytelling.
But please don't also change the print, because I love holding the newspapers in the morning and looking through the ST stories. There's some things that you just don't want to let go of.
Okay, speaking of which, I must not forget, I was going to give you guys something.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
What is it?
what is
It
it?
is a special reproduction replica of the very first copy of our print
Oh
Here
my
you
gosh,
go.
from 180 years ago.
from July 1845. Here, Glenn.
The newspaper was so
1845.
small back then.
It was slightly bit well.
So
yeah.
is this the actual size?
I think it was
or-
probably slightly smaller, but more or less the same size.
Oh.
Wait, it's not just the front page, it's the whole
everything,
newspaper.
it's
Oh
everything.
my gosh.
look
Oh
at
my
that.
god, the print was so small. The eyesight was fantastic back
I'm
then.
going to frame this.
This is beautiful. You know who I'm going to give this to? I mean, I love that you've given it to me, but I'm going to give it to my parents.
Yeah,
You know, because my parents still get the Straits Times delivered to their house, and this is the kind of I mean, they're not as old as 1845, obviously, but this is the kind of layout they would have been more used to as well.
What's this at the back?
Holloway's pills.
Well,
I love this.
if you see, most of it is obviously ads.
For Batavia.
Yeah.
Batavia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we're going back on air one last time. Oh, this is so nice. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you very much.
As I walk this world alone.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, we got a couple of situations out there on the PIE towards Tuas. Avoid lane 1 because an accident has been spotted just before Jalan Eunos. Also on the KJE towards the BKE, a vehicle's broken down before Chua Chu Kang Way's exit. And on the TPE towards the SLE before Pongal Road, a vehicle has broken down. Wherever you are, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We have been speaking to the editor of the Straits Times, Mr. Jaime Ho, who just presented us with such a nice...
Yeah, the two of you
little
reading a
gift.
newspaper at the same time.
Yeah.
How unique is that?
It's the Straits Times from the very first volume, 1845, July 15th, 1845.
And it was a Tuesday morning, just in case you're wondering what day it was. And I love this because I love how Glenn actually put the paper to his nose and tried to figure out if it still smelled.
Oh, you saw that?
I
You saw that.
I
Sure,
saw.
ay, alamak.
No, but it's something that people do. You know what I mean? They hold the newspapers, then they put it down, and then they smell their fingers. They look and see if there's any ink left
Yeah,
over. But this is wonderful. I love this. I mean, the print is way too small for me to read, but you can see the headlines like for
Yeah.
Batavia, to be
Yeah.
let, for sale.
Thank
for
you so
Manila.
much,
I love
man,
this.
for this,
Thank you.
Jamie.
No,
So
it's a pleasure.
this was given out during the 180th anniversary dinner.
Yes,
So
at Jewel,
it was a small sort of little dinner. The PM gave us the privilege of his presence. So he has the copy. All the guests have a copy, and we printed a couple of others for friends like you guys.
Oh my God,
Nice.
this is so precious.
So just in case you want to know, it was called the Straits Times and Singapore Journal of Commerce. So you can see it
Oh.
here.
How come it says Tuesday morning, Jamie?
Because it was
Tuesday morning lah.
it was released on Tuesday morning.
Also, they,
Yeah, it was that date, July 15, 1845 was a Tuesday.
Yeah. But I mean, now
Morning.
you guys don't put morning there,
that's
right?
true
It's
lah.
just Tuesday. So I
Do
was
you
like
still
bit
put a day? You
fascinated.
still put the day,
Oh, yeah, of
right?
course, yeah.
The day, but not morning. you
Yeah,
don't put
yeah.
morning. Yeah,
It's obviously morning.
Yeah.
Maybe at that time they didn't have a fixed time to release the
Maybe.
paper. Maybe
Was
Tuesday
there
afternoon.
Was there an afternoon like our Chinese papers?
No, I don't think so.
There wasn't.
I don't think it was
okay.
every day as well. It may not have been an every day right at the beginning.
And you know what? You can actually go online and search the archives for
Yes,
the
yes,
Straits
please do.
Times. Yeah,
Please
I've
do.
done that before.
Yep.
And you get all sorts. You can search names and everything is there online. So it's
Yeah.
not hard to search.
But
as
you know,
well.
this just crossed my mind because I'm looking at this. This is you're telling me it might have been a bit smaller than this.
No, this is probably slightly smaller than what it may have been.
Okay,
more
so
or less.
even if it's slightly bigger,
Yeah.
all those lao hua, that's it, no?
Yeah, you guys. The text is-
Maybe back in the day there were
They had
fewer
better
incidents,
eyesight,
yeah,
I think.
than we do now.
Or they used monocles, so they were quite
You're right,
magnified.
You're correct. You're correct. Yes.
Okay, I love this, Jamie. Thank you so much. Thank
Jamie,
you.
before we let you go, I
Yeah.
just want to ask you, like, you and your team, I'm sure all of you will get along so well together. Now that you are the editor of the Straits Times, what's the message to your team usually?
My team.
Yeah, your team is in, like, I mean,
Wow.
you've got like thousands of people. under you.
I'm intrigued that you're interested.
I am very
we
interested.
are.
I'm always interested in management.
Well, the main message that I have for my team is very simple. It sounds almost too simple. It's enjoy what you're doing, have fun what you're doing, and do it together. And be open to, as I said, going back to the theme that I had earlier on, to be open to a bit of uncertainty in how you approach things. New platforms will come, new storytelling techniques, testing of editorial sort of styles,
Right.
all these things, and working across teams, different teams. That demands a lot of comfort level with your colleagues, and with the way that things are going, sometimes uncertain where it's headed, and to embrace that a little bit. I think the days where we are too comfortable doing one thing one way for a certain set of time are long gone.
Yeah.
There are certain things that we may do today that we may find we actually don't have to do it again next month. And it's not an indictment on the quality of what you've done. It's just that maybe audiences are thinking differently. And we just need to move on and not always play catch up all the time. And if you're not playing catch up all the time, then you need to have fun, and that's the only way that you sort of test out new things. And we've seen in the last couple of months, we've tested out a few things that are quite fun. And I just hope that the people who read and watch us sort of get a sense that we are a newsroom that has a little bit of fun in what we're doing too.
Amazing, amazing. We just have one note from a resident of Tanjong Katong. It came
really?
through our
Okay.
WhatsApp from Michelle Koh. She says she would just like to thank all the journalists because she saw how hard they all work to cover the story on the Tanjong Katong
Oh, wow,
sinkhole.
yes. Well, thank you so
Camping out
much.
in the heat, camping overnight just to bring the news and updates to Singaporeans.
Yeah.
Kudos also to all the journalists because that was why the workers who saved the lady got recognized. So well done. Well done,
thank you.
guys.
What's her name again? We should go and
Michelle
say-
Koh.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Michelle Cole. Yeah. And you don't what do you call forget to have some fun yourself also, because I mean
Yeah,
you've
we
got
try.
like a very high pressure
I'll
job.
call
yeah.
on you whenever.
Please,
Yes.
whenever you
Let's
need
go
some
play
fun-
golf.
Yes.
Once in a while, I think you
Yeah,
should
yeah.
Glenn
go out
is
there and
Glenn
play
is
golf.
from the Ministry of Fun, so
I
please.
know. Precisely.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for joining us today.
No problem. Anytime.